What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line. My name is Alan Bell. And yes, there are still tech issues. So it's just going to be us today. Might be us for a couple days here. I think we can get it worked out, get it figured out. But, the show must go on. So, all right, before we get into anything, we have to take a look at how we did on, what is that, Wednesday? Pretty solid day here. All right, Tennessee, nice bounce back here. So, something to keep a hold of to remember. Rick Barnes, Tennessee, really good in terms of bounce back games. Something to keep an eye on. If you see Tennessee get out there, get stomped by Florida, I'll pull myself on screen. And especially if they're playing at home, strong bounce back, man. Strong bounce back. It was a big number, but they covered it. I think they won by 18. Raphael crushed it. Lakers team total got it. Giannis Antetokounmpo, all right, under 47.5, got that one as well. And then Seabass. Parlay comes through. Jokic didn't play, so I don't know what the juice is in regards to that. But he did hit it. Josh Hart had it, so nice job on that one. So, hey, can't take away the green check mark from our guy. He got that one. So, anyways, that is our plays from yesterday here. Let's see. Howie Schwab, crew play of the day. We'll get to this one. All right. Rams +6, Eagles -6, Ravens -1.5, Bills +1.5. I want to get you guys' thoughts as we head into this NFL weekend. So there weren't really many great games on the board for today. So I wanted to really just start it here NFL. All right. And just take a look at these two games. We'll take the other two on tomorrow. But yeah, polls in the chat, vote now. Up as we always do at the end of the show here, and just want to get your thoughts. So we'll update that one as we go. So, let's just jump right into it. Jump right into it here because there's no point wasting any time. Get to these picks. All right, here. Man, we don't need any music. We don't need anything right now. We just need to make sure that we can get the importance on the screen and keep it going here. So here's what I've got. Gonzaga, Oregon State, college basketball. All right, we're going to go over 150.5, -110. All right, we're also going to go Memphis, Temple, under 155, -110. All right, I think both of these games are going to be pretty, tight, even though you see, 9.5, 10-point spreads. I think that both of these are going to be tight. Now, tight games usually do lead to overs. That's why I like it in Gonzaga, Oregon State. But I think we're going to see the opposite there with Memphis and Temple. I think it's going to be kind of a, I guess you could say a dogfight. Like, you're going to see stretches here where you have runs of no points. Now, fouls concern me, but I'm going to go with those two. Now, we're also going to go ahead and start for this weekend. And we talked about it on Wednesday, all right, in regards to parlays and looking at other items that were there. And we're going to go, trust me, we're going to go through NFL and college football, a deeper dive here in just a minute. All right. So first one, I'm going to go with Chiefs money line, Lions money line, and Ohio State money line, -110. Might be -112, depending on your book, but I'm going to put those three together just to get parlay started. You guys had awesome options there in the chat on Wednesday. So I wanted to make sure that we were going to start that and keep those coming. Honestly, man, let me know what you guys have. Maddie says picking against the Commanders. Hey, I mean, it's the playoffs. Anybody can win, right? But yeah, dude, I was going to roll with it on the parlay here, but had nothing to do with the spread here, right? Yeah, and John, we've had StreamYard problems. All kinds. A lot of stuff got deleted. It can't get anybody in. It's been a mess, man. So we're trying to work through that one, but we will for sure. We're also going to go Ohio State over 3.5 team touchdowns at +105. Yeah, nothing against Notre Dame, buddy. Ohio State's a wagon. I mean, they're a wagon, right? If Ohio State loses, they lose, but I think that they could cover this here, the team touchdowns. I'm just all in on this. I don't know what Notre Dame We'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, man, like I'm going Ohio State here. I'm also going to go Ohio State first quarter -2.5. We're going to take a look at some team totals and stuff, but I feel like Ohio State's going to come out firing, right? Like I think that they understand that that's the way to go about it, right? And that game against Texas, not that they weren't trying to do that, right? Like I mean, all these defenses are good. Notre Dame's defense, like this is nothing against Notre Dame, but Ohio State, yeah, for sure. The money line parlay, Glenn says -127. Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, it bounces around, man. Like, I did this at DraftKings, and got it down to 110. I did it at BetMGM. I think it was 119. Yeah. So look around, but it's gonna be somewhere kind of in that range. So, anyways, these are the 5 picks here that we have now. We've got Mark. Mark, I hope you're in the chat. Let me make sure. I mean, he usually is. If he's not, it's okay. But yeah, Mark's here. All right. I mean, we got to get to our hockey, right? Definitely got to get to it. So, Mark, why don't we not waste any more time, buddy? Let's go around the ring.
Hey, everyone. Mark here from the Weekend Wagers Show with your Thursday edition of Around the Rink. We've got a ton of NHL to get to tonight, so let's jump right into it. We're going to begin by going up to Ottawa. We're going to take the Senators team total under 2.5 goals. You can get that at +120. Ottawa has struggled with goal production all season long. It's been amazing. Over the last 7 games, they've only averaged 2 goals a game for themselves. I really love this spot to target simply because the Capitals are coming into town. The Capitals are on 2 days rest. And this season, when they've had 2 days rest or 2 days in between games, they have a 1.70 goal against average. Look for them to keep the Senators off the scoreboard and get out of there with the win tonight. Our next play, we're going to go down to Tampa Bay. We're going to take the Lightning on the puck line at -1.5. You can get that at -115. I just love this spot. This is another spot that I think is prime to target simply because the Lightning are hosting the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks have been on a horrible road trip. They are 1-3, but worse, they've been shut out twice in this road trip. I really like this spot for Tampa Bay, who has played much better at home this season than they have on the road. They're averaging 3.7 goals a game at home. I just love this spot to target a weak Anaheim team versus a fairly strong Tampa Bay Lightning team. Look for Tampa Bay to get this done by at least 2 goals. That's going to do it for your skate around the rink. Have a great day.
Matty Boy says, all right, first off, Mark, thank you, man. As always, Mark says, Matty Boy says, Mark is coachable. I see no glasses on the top of his head. I like the glasses. I thought they were sharp. Nice, Mark. Nice job, buddy. As always, dude. Nice job there. All right. So let's get into the NFL here. Okay. And we're going to look at the games, but then we're going to break them down even further. So I'll leave myself here on the screen. So this is where we sit. Nothing has changed since yesterday. All right. Spreads, totals, all the same. So what I want to do here, and seriously, everybody, like as we go, drop your picks in here, okay, so that we can see them, and I'll put them up on screen. But what I want to do is I want to start, and I'll pull this up full screen here. All right, so these are team touchdowns, okay? So let's go through all 4 games. We'll start with the first 2 on Saturday here, okay? So team touchdowns. All right, you see the Texans over 1.5 -130, under 1.5 +100. You're gonna see the Chiefs here over 2.5 -150, under 2.5 +120. All right, Commanders Lions. You're gonna see team touchdowns over 4.5 +150, under 4.5 -195, and then the Commanders over 2.5 -130, under 2.5 +100. Okay, so first these 2 games here. All right, I bring them up. Is there anything that you see that you like, that you have? I kind of dig, if I had to choose one. Byron, maybe no. Yeah, look, it's been a mess. We'll be regular somewhat tomorrow. Yeah, just doing the best we can, man. All right, yeah, Texans over 1.5. I don't know, man. The Chiefs been winning with their defense, but I don't know if I wanted to pay 130 on that. Chiefs team TDs over 2.5. I mean, minus 150. Like, I like it, but yeah, that one's tough. Brian says parlay Chiefs in Washington. Over 2.5. Okay. All right. Commanders and Lions. Lions over 4.5. Plus 150. Under 4.5, minus 195. Do we think the Lions score 5 touchdowns? And then the Commanders over 2.5, minus 130, under 2.5, plus 100. I don't want to play the under 2.5 with the Commanders, but I think, like, if you look at the juice, like, I think that might be the only one playable. I don't know. It's tough. This was really hard. All right, drop your thoughts in the chat. We'll go to the other 4 here. Or the other 2 games, I guess. So, okay. Rams at the Eagles. Rams touchdowns over 1.5, minus 220. Under 1.5, plus 170. Eagles over 2.5, minus 166. Under 2.5, plus 130. Man, these are all for DraftKings. These are brutal. Ravens at Bills. Ravens over 2.5, minus 195. Under 2.5, plus 150. I don't know if I'm going under 2.5 with the Ravens, and then the Bills over 2.5. Yeah, like these are crazy juiced, man. Like these are. I mean, I don't really know if any of these are playable, right? Which stinks because team touchdowns, man, are solid here. So, anyways, those are there. Parlay the 4 here over. Ooh. Let's see. Yeah, well, parlay the 4 here over. Not a bad idea. Like, we might have to approach this like college baseball, to be honest with you. I think you're right. Brian, yeah, way too juicy. Yeah, it's tough, man. Chiefs. Brian says Chiefs over 2.5, minus 154. Super safe. Okay. Okay. Austin says, I feel like all the games could go over. Yeah, like, man, it's tough. All right. Hold on. Let's bring us back up here. So, I mean, rank them in terms of games going over. All right. Texas Chief 41.5. Commanders Lions 55.5. Rams Eagles 43.5. Ravens Bills 51.5. Like, I mean, I just kind of dig unders, man. Brad, yeah, under trend is strong through wild card game. I agree. Like, they are, And the biggest one, we talked about it on Wednesday. The biggest one to me is the Commanders and Lions at 55.5. I mean, that's massive, massive number. Massive number, especially if the spread is projecting, a blowout, right? Got to get double digits. Bad weather, KC in Buffalo. Schwan says, oh, see, that's another thing. And with Baltimore, I mean, they after what up, dog? What's up, bro? Looking at that, if we have bad weather here, right? The Ravens, they didn't even use Justin Tucker against the Steelers. They didn't have to. It's gonna be bad weather. I mean, Harbaugh will go to him, but how much do we trust it? Yeah, so Commanders Lions, that one sticks out to me. That's I feel an under there. Yeah, here's the other thing. 41.5, the Texas Chiefs. Like, that's a pretty attainable number, but you're gonna need both to score. And you're gonna need Houston to get to 17 or more, right? Like, I don't see the Chiefs winning 40-7, right? So, I mean, how many points do we think? Do we think that the Texans get? Yeah, all right. So, Ninja, I think that perfectly timed. I think that's the absolute perfect question. Do the Texans score over or under 17.5? If you think under, then bet the under in this game. Like, I don't see the Chiefs looking to blow the score up, right? They don't have to. Yeah. So, and then the other ones, see, Walsey 24-17. And that still hits the under. Right? All right, I'm glad that you said that. That still hits the under, right? So maybe we would need even more from Houston, right? Does Houston have to score 20? Yeah, that's something to think about. Brad, under for me on Houston team total. They get, yeah, like I kind of agree. And if you look at the Chiefs, I mean, not that their offense can't turn it on in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen it a trillion times, but I mean, dude, it's their defense that's been doing this, right? Like their defense has been money, man. Everett says both games are going to be cold weather, under on Kansas City and definitely under on Buffalo. Yeah, 51.5 is a big number. Especially there's a lot of pressure in that game. Like I'm not saying you have legacies on the line, but you kind of have legacy. Like windows in the NFL are short. And not that the Ravens and the Bills, like whoever loses, like the trajectory of the team is done. But I mean, both of these quarterbacks and both of these coaches know exactly what time it is. This is a massive game here. Fairly Middle says after Minnesota could even get 10, I'm scared. Titans. Always. Cortez, Chiefs under, win again. See, I agree. Like that, like Detroit is a team that if they're up, they'll keep going offensively. I'm not saying that they're gonna I'm not saying that they're gonna blow Washington. I'm just saying they'll keep going. Kansas City will absolutely run the football and play field position because they know that they've made this Super Bowl run before. You know what I mean? Like they don't have anybody to impress. They don't have any of that. Like if they're up, buddy, they're running the football a lot. Yeah, Houston, Kansas City, first half under. What's that number, Joel? If you have it, I don't have it in front of me. Yeah. Okay, so Houston's definitely been a first half team this year. I feel like they'll definitely try to come out and score because there's no other reason not to for them. You know what I mean? Bet the over 3 days ago by mistake. Hope it comes to Well, I mean, it's 41.5. Like, get there. Weather definitely comes a factor in capping these outs 100%, man. And especially in the playoffs, dude. Like, think about the coaches as well. You get some pretty veteran dudes. And besides Dan Campbell, like, and I'm not speaking negative, I love Dan Campbell, but you've got coaches who they want to run the football, right? Like they want to run the football because that means that they're up and that means they're controlling the clock and they're tightening the game. Penalties also have a lot to come into this as well. Austin says, can the Texans have 2 rushing and 2 passing touchdowns? Yes. Would you? All right. So 4 touchdowns and 2. I mean that's an ask. You know what I mean? Now, the good thing is that you have Joe Mixon, and he can get you on both. But like that's a big. I would have to see with the juice. That's a big ask. Can't Lake it in. Are they paid? Iowa State, Tennessee. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Hey, good win. Good win. Absolutely. Is there any funky outdoor weather stats on the Texans? I'll look that up. I don't have anything in front of me, but I'll definitely look that up. Robert, good morning, buddy. Good to see you, man. What do you think cold weather in Buffalo does for that game? So, okay, good question. Baltimore's going to want to run the football regardless. Okay. Here's the deal. They're running Lamar way more and purposefully, right? If you watch over the last couple weeks, and especially last week against Pittsburgh, right? So when Lamar is lined up to go RPO, okay? Run pass option. When he looks and he's looking to hand off to Derrick Henry, more times than not, like they want Lamar to run it. And you saw it against Pittsburgh. Take a look at his carries. he definitely is running the rock. And it might not be carries that you look at, but he's gaining off chunks of yardage too, man. But with Baltimore, like, I mean, they're very multiple, right? Like they can do it on the ground, they can do it in the air, and you know, the cold weather, like they're used to it. But they've got lightning at quarterback, they've got Derrick Henry at running back, and they got a 300-pound fullback. They want to run the football, you know what I mean? So I think for them, like if they're rushing, if they're running, it's not going to affect them. Same thing with Buffalo. James Cook can go. Josh Allen, I mean, obviously he can do it. But they don't necessarily want to run him. Remember that Buffalo, if you take a look at their passing charts, really all year, they don't throw deep too terribly much. It is a very short passing window, right? Because they want to limit turnovers, and it's worked. So you're going to see Buffalo with essentially they've been using a short passing game as an addition de facto on top running game. So it could affect it could affect Buffalo a little bit more because I think they want to throw a little bit more. We're going to have to throw a little bit more because remember, you're going up against a Ravens rushing defense that is incredible. But the Ravens pass defense is one of the worst in the league, if not the worst, statistically. So it could affect Buffalo more. Yeah. But again, Josh Allen has a cannon. So he's used to it, but it could still affect it. Big Rob, what up, man? Good morning, buddy. First half 20.5 on the Chiefs and Texans. First half under. Yeah. So, okay, these are just my thoughts here. 20.5. Houston's definitely going to try to get up on the board. Like, I think that, like, Glenn, like, I think you're thinking correctly here. Now, whether Houston does it, here's the other thing. Kansas City is built to score on their opening drive. Andy Reid famously scripts the first 15 plays of every game, and it's pretty damn effective. Usually goes for a touchdown. If not, they usually get at least 3, right? So after that, though, they get up on you. If Kansas City gets up on you 7-0, all right, you're the Texans, you get the ball, say you punt. Well, you're generally still in that scripted area, so Kansas City's always aggressive again. But then let's say they get up 10-0 after 2 drives. Then Spags takes over, and then they go defense because they can pin their ears back and get after you, and they can get after your quarterback and not have to blitz. What I mean by that is if you only bring your front 4, you're not blitzing. You're just getting pressure with your defensive line. That's what the Rams did, right? And once you could do that as a defense and it's successful, it's trouble. Trouble. You saw Sam Darnold, right? It's absolutely trouble. So, like, that's Houston is in the spot that Minnesota was last week, right? You cannot let the score get out of balance because then your play calling and the defensive play calling gets out of balance, not in your favor, right? So, yeah. If the Chiefs play to win, will not do more than they need in the defense. See that, like, that's if this game played out 100 times, I would bet this 100 times. I might lose it 15 times, but I'll probably win it 85. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Mark gonna run. Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Good picks. Field goals. Mahomes over 1.5 touchdowns. Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. You talk about passing. Yeah. Go back and remember last year. All right. Travis Kelce, all seasons, he does, like, and then he immediately took over. That's what they do. This is a big Travis Kelce game. Big Travis Kelce game. And obviously, Mahomes would be the one throwing it to him. Yeah, Austin, Mixon's the only reason I brought it up. The 2 touchdowns passing. 100%. Like that's why, like, if you're taking a flyer, yeah, like when you have a dynamic, running back that can, catch and run, yeah, 100%. Which game has the most field goals? Ooh. Probably Houston and Kansas City, if you ask me. Because Houston's got a hell of a kicker as well. Now, he's not indoors, but still. Yeah, if it were me, I would say Houston and Kansas City, but you guys let me know. Matty Boy AB, how about a teaser on the Commanders-Lions game? Commanders plus 15.5, under 6. Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, 15.5, under 61.5. Yeah, I dig that for sure. Because also what Dan Campbell doesn't want to do is get people injured, right? Like, let's just say that they're up 10, all right? And let me pull that back up. Let's just say that the Lions are up 10 through the game. We're just using the spread that the books have, right? Their culture is built on being aggressive. That's what they do, right? So they don't turn it off, both offensively and defensively. But, I mean, if theoretically they didn't have to, like, if they could, run the football, play defense, punt because they're up, yeah. I say all that to say, like, 15.5, it's a pretty damn solid number. Don't talk about penalties on the lineman for the Chiefs. Could agree. Oh my God, I know. Like, that's been a problem. Already bet Josh Allen over rushing kills because of the playoffs, but whether should 100%. TJ, I'm with you on that. Do we bet Josh Allen for a touchdown, meaning for a rushing touchdown? Because you are going up against arguably the best run defense in the league. But, I mean, it's Josh Allen. He's a big boy. They like to use him down there. Bills ranked number 12 rushing defense. Ravens number. Yeah, see those are real numbers. But like, that's what I'm saying is, like, for the Bills, right? Like, offensively, they're gonna throw it. Now they're not gonna get away from James Cook. Like, they'll run the football. Like, that's who they are, and they're good doing it. But yeah, I mean, Ravens run defense is for real. But the Ravens can't just load up and let Josh Allen throw all over the place because, I mean, it's Josh Allen, and John Harbaugh knows that secondary, right? So, yeah, that'll be fascinating. Watching what Josh Allen does in the line of scrimmage with the linebackers. That's what you want to pay attention to. Because if they're having to move back, move up, move back, move sideways, like, you're going to see a lot of pre-snap motion. All right. And for anybody that doesn't know, when quarterbacks put a wide receiver, running back, tight end in motion, they're doing it for 2 reasons. Number one, all right, you're looking to see if it's man coverage or zone. All right. So if you imagine you were Josh Allen, okay, and you bring Schwann here, your wide receiver, you put him in motion. All right. He's on the right, goes over to the left. All right. And if you're Josh Allen, when you do that, what you're looking for is the safety. All right. If the safety follows the wide receiver, it's man coverage. Get it? Safety. He's on that guy. That's his guy. That's his man. If nobody moves, well, then you're looking at a zone. Then you're trying to find, if you're Josh Allen, you're trying to find, all right, is there a blitz coming? Right? Did the linebackers move? Did anybody adjust? That's what you're looking for. So, yeah, like, I'm glad that you brought this up, right? Like, the Bills are going to have to get creative at times because that rushing defense, like, is for real. He seems so spent after that game, though. Maybe less for him this week. Yeah, like, that's the other thing, too. It's like, you definitely don't want to get the guy hurt. But I mean, it's playoffs. Like, you got to do what the hell you got to do. Tim, hey, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, hey, look, and I appreciate everybody. Like, we had a bunch of stuff that got deleted out of our StreamYard and the rooms and all this stuff, and trying to get it fixed up. It's been a pain. So we're working through that for sure. Who's taking the Rams outright? Anybody? Buffalo. That's the thing. All right. So, Austin, I'm glad you brought that up. Buffalo, they've thrown the ball to 137 different receivers. It's incredible because now that, they're not just chucking it. I mean, remember a year ago, like Josh Allen was loading up. They don't do it much anymore. And when they do, it's usually to a tight end. You know what I mean? Stephon Diggs not being there obviously has something to do with it. But you look at Josh Allen's interceptions, way down. Turnovers, way down, right? So this is not only for all the different, players that Josh is throwing to, but Josh himself and his passing, numbers, right? And speaking of that, I'll tell you what. You guys keep breaking those things here. College basketball, tipping here at 37. Maine versus, who is that? New Jersey Institute of Technology. All right, where are we going? Elliot, who we got? We'll ride it all together. Okay, so let's pull the keep breaking those down. We're not going to stop there. Let me pull this up. Okay. Stuck interceptions while we do this. Okay. So keep going on everything NFL. All right. And I'll pull this full screen here and just go through it real quick, and I'll leave it up at the screen. All right. So who do we think's going to pick? All right. Mahomes, minus 115 for one or more. Stroud, minus 160 for one or more. Okay. So if you want to play Stroud, you'd have to parlay it with something. You see the averages there. Mahomes, 0.7 per game. Stroud, 0.7 per game, pretty even. Jared Goff, plus 120. Jaden Daniels, minus 135. Okay. That's the first two games. All right. Rams, Eagles. Jalen Hurts, who I believe now he hasn't thrown a pick in, is it 4 games? Eagles fan, if there's any Eagles fans in here, let me know. I think it's 4. Like, Jalen is playing excellent football, obviously, because you have a monster like Saquon, right? So plus 135. Stafford, minus 135. Remember, out in the cold. All right, you see the averages there, 0.3 for Jalen, 0.5 for Stafford. And then the final game, Lamar Jackson, plus 105. And Josh Allen, minus 120. And look at their averages. Lamar, 0.2. Josh Allen, 0.3. Are those the best that we have? Look at that. Like, that is exactly what we were just talking about. And I'll pull myself back here. That the short passing game for the Bills, that's where it's paid off. Yeah. All right. So put your bets there, or put your picks in the chat. And we'll see what you guys like here. Scott, let's show. Hey, I appreciate, man. We're doing everything we can while we're trying to work through it, man. It says Kansas City gets up 10 or more, they start taking the air out of the foot. Yeah. Like, that's the thing. It is, especially these coaches that are veteran style. They get up 10, they run the football even more. If the Ravens get up by 10, they will 1,000,000% run the football. Like, even more, which I don't know how you do. Sometimes they have 11 plays and they run the football the entire time. Says, a little show can audible. Absolutely, right? Like, and I know it's not super exciting like the normal one is, and I'm certainly not coach in terms of being a host, right? But, we can at least break it down. We can talk ball. You know what I mean? Big Kirk, good to see you, buddy. My man. Jake, I don't like that amount of juice with you there. Kirk, hey, good, buddy. Good to see you, man. Loves it. Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's see. Wow. 5. Kirk. Bless you, my friend. Bless you. You're a good man. Brian, Ravens pass defense is very suspect, especially in the middle. Their safeties are good too. I could see Shakur and Kincaid props over where the soft spot seam of the Ravens cover 2 zone. 100% correct. Like, Byron, you are spot on, dude. Spot on. Like, And if it's working, which, like, as you broke down beautifully, by the way, yeah, like, they'll keep doing it. That's what Tom Brady did forever, is that Brady found your soft spot and would just keep doing it. If you were playing, let's say, a cover 3, right? And your corners, all right, were back 7 yards. Brady would throw a hitch over and over and over, and a hitch being a wide receiver on the line, runs 3 yards, turns around, catches, right? Brady would throw it literally every play until you moved your ass up, right? And the Bills will do that too, because that's what this offense is built to do, is exactly what Byron just said, is that if you're not going to adjust, I got 137 different receivers to throw it to, right? Like, he'll keep doing it. So that's a great point, Byron. Absolutely, man. I'll get good morning. Let's go, Kurt. Yeah, absolutely. Preston, good morning, buddy. Good morning. Bad playoff. See, Chicago could win. Matty, 15.5 might be enough. We talking hockey here? Yeah, we're talking a little puck. Let's see. That lines I run and play. See, like, that's the one. Like, Robert, you're right too. Like, with the Lions, like, they just keep going because that's what they're built to do, and I respect it. In the fact that, like, Ben Johnson, their OC, is saying, well, we're just going to keep doing what we do until the game is over, because if we get out of that, well, that's not good. That's how we lose, right? I respect it. So I'm with you. Like, that's the only one that, like, would be, like, not running the football constantly. I mean, they'll still do it, obviously, but breaking news, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, you're right. Jason has a dumb comment by me. With the heart, yeah. Let's see. Rob says, I'm hearing a lot of people playing Chiefs and Ohio State teaser. Any thoughts on that? Yeah. Now, we spoke about this on Wednesday. I'm not the best at teasers. So I lean on you guys, but the overall thought process, yeah, I get it. 100%. Kirk, Josh Allen, 2 TDs plus 750. Yeah. See it. All right. So yeah. All right. I've got to look at this. King of the end zone on DK. And while you guys look at that, let me get the picks back up here. For anybody that's come in new. Let me get this up. Here we go. All right. It's just me today. I promise we'll have more dudes tomorrow. Gonzaga, Oregon State tonight, over 150.5. Memphis, Temple, under 155. And then for this weekend, Chiefs money line, Lions money line, Ohio State money line, minus 110. Now, we've seen on the on everybody's different books. We saw this. Some had it at minus 125, 127. So understand that's what it was at DraftKings 2 hours ago. Just, yeah, it's in that range. Ohio State over 3.5 team touchdowns at plus 105, and Ohio State first quarter minus 2.5 at minus 115. And yeah, like, we'll be be more normal tomorrow. Okay, so we've got that NFL. Now, here's what I want to do as well. Let's talk college football here, and then we'll get out of here, let you guys get on with your day. But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging tough, man. Okay, so haven't seen any changes from Wednesday here. Ohio State 8.5 point favorite. Notre Dame plus 285 on the money line, a total of 46.5 here. So this is what I want to talk about with this game. Okay, and again, we have time. All right, it's not until Monday, but I want to talk quarters here. Okay. Here's the spreads. Here are the totals. All right. You saw I'm on Ohio State first quarter minus 2.5. I think that Ohio State wants to get back to exactly what they do after that Texas game. All right. But I'd love your thoughts here. Okay. So when you look at this, look at it as I'm looking at the spread, but I'm also looking at the total. And essentially what you want to do is get an idea of kind of how many points you think not only each team is going to score in the game. That's where you want to start. But then you want to start to look, all right, we start this thing quick. First quarter, first half. All right. Third quarter, fourth quarter. Exactly. So first, and we don't have to come up with everybody's picks now. I'd love to, see him in the chat here. But you've got 2.5, 9.5. All right, first quarter. You got 2.5, 12.5 in the second quarter. And remember, second and fourth quarters are by far the highest scoring quarters on average in both college football and the NFL. So, all right, 2.5, 9.5, 2.5, 12.5 in the second quarter. All right, third quarter, 1.5, 9.5, and then 2.5 and 13.5. Okay. Now, I want to explain something real quick because you see here 12.5, which is generally a pretty average number for a lot. And then 13.5. So I want you to think about this, especially in the playoffs, not only college, but the NFL as well. But this works for regular season. Okay. So if you're looking at 13.5, all right, that means, especially in a quarter, that means you need 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points because you're not going to 7 points and 3 field goals. I mean, you just don't have enough time. I mean, it can happen, but that's a lot to ask, right? And remember, 13.5, you need both extra points as well, right? But when you look at 12.5, understand that's a massive difference. Massive difference because, number one, if you get 2 touchdowns and you have one of them where the extra point gets screwed up, you've got insurance here. 13 still covers you. All right, 13.5, you've got to have both extra points as well. So you have to have everything work into play. If they go for 2, all right, especially when you're looking late, okay, scores a little odd, fourth quarter, you generally see more going for 2s late than you do early. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind because even if the game's a blowout and you're like, well, it's 13.5. Well, if one of them goes for 2 and doesn't get it, you end up at 13, right? You get screwed. But 12.5, you've got that insurance, but then also 1 touchdown, the extra point, and 2 field goals. It gets you home as well. All right, 13.5. I mean, banking on a touchdown and 3 field goals in a quarter, you just don't have time for it. So always remember that when you look at 13.5 compared to 12.5, it is a massive, massive difference, right? Yeah, massive difference. Just keep that in mind, especially if you're looking at late. Now, late in some games can help you. You know what I mean? Because you've got teams just going all out to score. But just pay attention to that, man. For anybody that, doesn't think about that might not place quarter or half bets or anything like that, or anybody that's brand new, or anybody even a veteran. I have to remind myself of this constantly, because you don't think about it. But yeah, the difference of 13.5 and 12.5 is an absolutely massive, massive number. What else do we have here? All right, we've got that. Oh, okay. All right. So we'll talk about this for a second, and then we'll get out of here, let you get on with your day. But we'll be in the Discord. So, yeah, we'll talk about it throughout the day and go through it and bet more games. But I do want to bring this up here. Okay. So these are your college baseball top 25 preseason rankings, courtesy of D1baseball.com. Anybody that's been with us, we love D1baseball.com. Great people. They do a great job in a sport that doesn't get a ton of coverage, and they're all over it. Great people. So support them. Go to their website. Check them out. I'm not saying have to go there and buy stuff. Just visit their site, man. That helps a ton. But yeah, so Texas A&M, Virginia, LSU, Tennessee, Arkansas, North Carolina, Oregon State, Georgia, Florida State, Florida. That's your top 10. All of these teams are going to be good. Arkansas could be really good. They had unbelievable pitching last year. Texas A&M obviously played in the national championship. They're going to be back. They brought a lot of their dudes back. I thought a lot of their guys would go in the portal. Some did, but the A&M's going to be, they're going to be money, man. Virginia, they're always up there. They are as consistent as it gets. LSU, I mean, it's LSU. And boys invented college baseball, right? Like they're going to be there. They got a hell of a coach. They got a ton of talent. Tennessee, one transfer portal. Tennessee got bats. Like they got bats, dude. Like they're going to be hitting. Like Tennessee's going to be Tennessee, but it is tough to we're not projecting winning a title or anything. Like it's tough. There's a lot of guys on that team that are gone. You know what I mean? Some very clutch hitters. But Tennessee's going to be good. North Carolina's going to be good. We're going to see Belichick at some games. Oregon State. Yep. Georgia. Remember Georgia last year, dude? They were solid. They can hit the hell out of the baseball. Florida State can hit the hell out of the baseball. And Florida. Look, they ended up making a huge run after a very inconsistent regular season last year. But they're very well coached. They got talent all over the place. To round it out, Duke, Oregon, NC State, Wake Forest, Clemson, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's going to be a good team this year. Oklahoma State, Mississippi State, Texas, DBU, love some Dallas Baptist, Arizona, UC Santa Barbara, TCU, Nebraska, and Troy. So, yeah, man, like I just want to bring that up. And Seth and everybody in the Discord there in the college baseball room, you guys brought this to me. So huge on that one. And we're going to be breaking obviously all this down. And TJ is going to be on the show this year, my boy. All right. So we're going to be breaking those down together, and we'll definitely need all of you. Because look, man, like you guys put together some huge wins and parlays. Like you guys give me credit and I appreciate it, but you guys brought it. You know what I mean? Like it was a collective effort on crushing it. And hey, gonna need you again because look, man, you guys were paying bills last year. It was fantastic. So we'll when the season starts February 14th. Remember, it's always on Valentine's Day. So so we got a little time there, but we'll definitely be breaking those down, have a lot of fun. All right. Okay. Anyways, all right, that's it. Effort, we're doing 100%. We're doing that. Yeah, dude. All right, that's all we need to do. I sure do appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Like I said, we've had all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Bunch of our rooms got deleted out of StreamYard. Like I don't know what the hell happened with that, but we're gonna get it back and we'll get it rolling again. I just appreciate you guys hanging tough. So, anyways, everybody, best of luck. Let's cash these tickets. See you in the Discord. If somebody could drop the link, it'd be great. If not, I'll put it and clip it in the comments of this video. But everybody, best luck. Cash these tickets, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks.